Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Wildfire Wednesday. My name is John Glover. I'm the Wildfire Division Chief for the Anchorage Fire Department. And a couple of things we'd like to talk to you today. As we go into fall, obviously we got some termination dust on the mountains today. Some of us are going to be gathering firewood and getting our wood stove ready or our fireplaces ready for fall time and winter time. Just try and remember not to stack that wood underneath your porch. Have good separation and distance from your house. And save yourself some pain as spring comes along, so you don't have to move it all. This week we were working up in the Campbell Airstrip Road area again. We had a windstorm come through a few weeks ago and dropped some trees down along that project. So we went in there with some of our engine crews and our personnel and cleaned those fallen trees up. That wood is available to the public, so if you're driving through that area and you see any of the rounds cut, feel free to take some of that for your personal use. Also, this past week we had a couple of our firefighters come back from the lower 48. They were deployed down just east of Fresno on the Garnett fire, working as task force leaders down in that area, getting some training and experience fighting fire stateside with different resources. So pretty excited about that opportunity that they had to go down, experience fire in a different area and work with different resources and different fuel types and bring that experience and leadership back to our staff and our personnel.
Hello, my name is Richard Minkler and I am a captain with the Anchorage Fire Department at Station 1. I am currently filling a role as a task force lead trainee on the Garnett fire located in the Sierra National Forest east of Fresno, California. I want to share with you some of the lessons learned during this assignment and some of the invaluable experiences that I will be bringing back with me to the Anchorage Fire Department. The incident command team was made up of personnel that were mostly from California, but also had several that were from Alaska. The most valuable lesson was the excellent communication that was shared by a team made up of personnel from across the U.S. Engines that were assigned to me were from as far away as Colorado and Ohio, bulldozers from Orange County, California, and water tenders that were from towns near the incident. Although we had never worked together and had no prior knowledge of each other, the communication link was flawless on all parts. This was due to several factors that include the use of common terminology, continued training and education, and a great trust that was shared by all personnel. Another valuable lesson was the appropriate assignment of personnel in regard to the type of apparatus that they were in and their skill level and qualifications. The assignments that were given allowed the crews to perform efficiently and effectively to accomplish the mission objectives that were for the day that often occurred in different areas of the fire. During this assignment, I used tactics and strategies that can be used shall we have another large wildfire in Anchorage that lasts multiple operational periods. This assignment has given me practical experience that I can use to be a better asset not only to the Anchorage Fire Department, but to the state of Alaska as well when we send resources to aid in wildfire suppression.
My name is Josh Lutzinger. I'm a firefighter EMT with the Anchorage Fire Department. I work at Station 3, Mountain. With the support of the Anchorage Fire Department, I respond across the nation to support complex incident management teams in their efforts to provide incident stabilization to wildfires. The Anchorage Fire Department supports this participation because the skills, experience, and training that I'm receiving with these wildfire incident management teams can be brought home to train our Anchorage Fire Department employees, but also can assist us in our efforts in case we have a large incident within the municipality. And lessons that I've learned will allow us to provide attainable objectives and assign tasks to those resources that are flooding into the municipality. They're wanting to help us to provide incident stabilization as quickly as we can and support our community within Anchorage.
So we're super excited to announce that this morning we received notification from the Bureau of Land Management that we were awarded an $890,000 grant that will be used for mitigation efforts over the next 3 years, and that'll start sometime next year. So we're super excited. Stay tuned and monitor our projects page and our social media, and as we roll out information about that grant and what we're doing with it. First and foremost, you can now access our CWPP project information by simply typing in wildfire.muni.org/CWPP. We're hoping this will be easy to remember and a means for you to check back often as we provide updates. The plan will become available to the public on November 11th. So we are getting closer and closer to that date. On November 12th, we will present the CWPP as well as an update from the Wildfire Division via another town hall. It'll be at the Wilde-Marston Theater at Lusac Library, 6 p.m., again on November 12th. We have 6 days left for the community survey. If you haven't taken that, or if you know of anyone who hasn't, please let them know. We would really like to reach 500 responses, and we're currently just over 350. We can make it. It's just going to take a push and help from every single one of you. For our public comment period for the CWPP, that will be from November 11th to the 30th. We do recognize that not all community councils will be meeting during that time frame, so all councils will be receiving some talking points and some information in this week to use for your October meetings. So keep an eye out for that. Go ahead and mark your calendars and know that each individual person within the community has the opportunity to provide feedback. It doesn't have to come through your community council or your HOA or anyone. It'll come directly from you. All right, and then the final announcement is communities up north. We will be coming directly to you for an open house. This will be at the Chugiak Fire Station next to Fire Lake. It'll be on October 28th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This will be just an opportunity for the northern communities to meet the Wildfire Division. We'll have representation from Chugiak Volunteer Fire Department, Eagle River and Chugiak Parks and Recreation, AFD, as well as the Division of Forestry. So it's an opportunity just to ask questions, get some answers, and talk a bit about the CWPP ahead of our big town hall.
My name is Jen Schmidt, and I work at the University of Alaska Anchorage Institute for Social and Economic Research, and I am here today to talk to you about wildfire exposure. So wildfire exposure represents if a fire were to start in an area, how exposed that area would be to flames, heat, and embers. And so a low exposure area might look something like this, where it's still flammable, but the fire's on the ground, the flames are minimal, there's not a lot of embers floating around in the air. Whereas a high exposure wildfire might look something like this, where you have flame lengths that are very large here. The fire is very hot, therefore they're staying away from the fire, and it's very intense, a lot of heat, a lot of embers. And so when we talk about embers, we're talking about particles that float through the air and could land on your house or around your house and start a house on fire or anything that we're interested in potentially on fire. And so wildfire exposure is largely driven by vegetation and how flammable the vegetation is. Here you're seeing an example of a patch of spruce. Spruce is highly flammable. When spruce catches on fire, there's a lot of ember dispersal and there can be torching. So with this patch of spruce that we've identified, you would get higher wildfire exposure. We are concerned about values of 60 and above, and you can see where that patch of spruce is, you do have values of 80 and up. So high wildfire exposure, and should that area catch on fire, there will be a lot of flames, there will be torching and embers should the weather align and spread that fire. And so I've developed an online application where people can go and check out their wildfire exposure. When you go to the application, this is what you will see. You can turn off the wildfire structure risk, and you scroll down, you'll see the legend, which will tell you what the colors mean. And then you can zoom in and take a look at various places around the Anchorage area. You can also search for addresses up in the taskbar up here. And if you need any help, you can click on this help, and it will lead you to some how-to videos and how to use this either on your phone or on your computer.